Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into an extremely important update for Zbeck, a project that continues to stand out in the crypto space for its unique approach to payroll, compliance, and blockchain innovation. One of the biggest achievements recently announced is that Zbeck has successfully completed a certification process that evaluates company practices across 5 major areas. These 5 pillars include infrastructure, product security, organizational safeguards, international processes, and data handling. At first glance, this might sound like corporate jargon, but in reality, these are the very foundations that determine whether a project has the strength to scale globally and gain the trust of institutional players. Without strong practices in these areas, any blockchain project, no matter how innovative, runs the risk of collapsing when faced with real-world challenges. Zbeck passing these evaluations proves that it is not only building for today, but preparing for long-term survival and growth. Nothing in this video is financial advice. These are just my personal thoughts and analysis based on what I see in the markets. Always do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. The crypto market is volatile, and while opportunities are massive, so are the risks. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay tuned for more updates as we continue to track the exciting journey of Zbeck. Let's go deeper into these 5 areas. Infrastructure is the bedrock of any crypto project. It's not just about servers or networks, it's about building a system that can handle massive user demand without faltering. In payroll, especially when we're talking about millions of transactions tied to salaries and corporate finances, infrastructure has to be bulletproof. ZBC has focused on enterprise-grade infrastructure, which means they're designing a system capable of scaling to millions of users while maintaining stability and reliability. Then comes product security, which is absolutely non-negotiable in the crypto ecosystem. People are not just trusting Zbeck with a token, they're trusting it with their money, their paychecks, their card payments, and their financial data. Meeting enterprise security standards ensures that Zbeck is placing itself in the same league as some of the industry's most respected players, such as KuCoin and Crypto.com. These are names that investors recognize and respect, so for ZBC to stand alongside them is a sign of how seriously the company is taking this journey. The third pillar is organizational safeguards. Many projects fail not because of external attacks, but because of weaknesses within their own teams. Poor management of sensitive information, lack of clear access controls, or internal vulnerabilities that hackers can exploit. Zbeck's compliance in this area means that from the inside out, the company has protections in place. Then there are international processes, which are critical for crypto projects that want to go beyond local operations and truly achieve global adoption. Every country has its own laws and frameworks when it comes to payroll, finance, and crypto regulation. By aligning with international standards, Zbeck is making sure that it will be ready to expand seamlessly into new markets, which is exactly what we want to see from a project aiming to be a household name. And lastly, data handling, arguably one of the most important. Payroll is data-heavy, and any mishandling could lead to lawsuits, loss of trust, or regulatory penalties. Zbeck is meeting the highest levels of compliance in data handling, which reassures both investors and end users that sensitive information is secure. Now, when you tie all these achievements together, you begin to understand why Zbeck's payroll and card product being certified at an enterprise-grade level is such a massive milestone. It's not just a checkbox. It's a stamp of approval that says this project belongs in the same conversation as established giants. It positions Zbeck for greater institutional partnerships, larger integrations, and importantly, for listings on major exchanges. The company is not stopping here either. They are actively pursuing additional regulatory and security standards that will only make the project stronger in the coming months. We already know that September and December are being highlighted as big news months for ZBC, with several major announcements expected. The timing of this compliance achievement couldn't be better. Now let's talk about listings, because this is where things start to get really exciting. With this certification and compliance in place, Zbeck is now positioned to potentially secure listings on Binance and Coinbase. For those who might not fully appreciate the significance of this, let's break it down. Binance is the largest crypto exchange in the world by trading volume, with access to global investors in virtually every region. Coinbase, on the other hand, is the gateway to the U.S. market. If Zbeck gets listed on either of these platforms, it will instantly gain exposure to millions of investors who otherwise would not have access. Right now, Zbeck is only available on a limited number of exchanges such as Crypto.com, and while that's good, it's not enough to fuel explosive growth. A Binance or Coinbase listing, or ideally both, would unlock an entirely new wave of liquidity, adoption, and market visibility. Switching gears, let's dive into the price action, because I know that's what a lot of people are most curious about. At the moment, ZBX market cap has been fluctuating, and the price has mostly been trading sideways. For some people, sideways movement feels boring, but in reality, it's often a sign of consolidation. It means that the market is accumulating, that investors who see the long-term potential are loading up while the price is low. We haven't seen any parabolic runs or sharp breakouts yet, but that doesn't mean the project is weak. It just means the timing isn't right. And timing, as always in crypto, is everything. Over the last few weeks, the entire crypto market has taken a beating. Bitcoin dropped, Ethereum dropped, XRP dropped. Essentially, everything was in the red. The global crypto market cap itself shrank as money was pulled out of the space. In that kind of environment, it's natural for every project, no matter how strong, to see some decline or stagnation. However, here's where things get interesting. The altcoin index currently sits at 51 out of 100. That's not bearish. That's the zone where momentum begins to build up again. On top of that, the Fear and Greed Index, which tracks investor sentiment, has been slowly creeping up. This suggests that investors are beginning to shake off the fear and return to a more balanced or even bullish mindset. Historically, the fall season has been a strong period for crypto markets, and all signs are pointing toward the possibility of a shift in momentum. For Zbeck, this is a golden setup. The project is stacking achievements, securing compliance, and pursuing partnerships at the exact moment when the market could be preparing for another run. And speaking of partnerships, let's not forget the recognition Zbeck recently received at the Nasdaq Ashure 50 conference. They were awarded the prestigious Gold Medallion Award, a recognition given to standout partners in the payroll industry. To put this into perspective, Ashure processes billions of dollars in payroll volume for over 2 million employees. For ZBCN to be honored as a key partner in bringing stablecoin payroll innovation to that ecosystem is monumental. This isn't just crypto hype, it's real-world validation from one of the biggest payroll processors in the U.S. That award signals to investors, institutions, and businesses alike that Zbeck is more than just another blockchain project. It's a legitimate player in the future of payroll. Now think about what happens when this scales. Currently, Zbeck processes payroll for around 50,000 users. That's impressive, but it's just scratching the surface. Imagine that number growing to hundreds of thousands or even millions as the technology becomes more widely adopted. The price of Zbeck today, sitting at fractions of a penny around 0.003, will look laughably cheap in hindsight if adoption takes off. This is how early-stage opportunities look. They don't scream obvious winner when you're in them. They look undervalued and underappreciated until suddenly the market catches up. Accessibility is another crucial point here. Right now, aside from Crypto.com, Zbeck isn't listed on any major platforms. No Binance, no Coinbase, no Kraken. And that lack of accessibility means a lot of potential investors don't even have the chance to buy in. But once listings on major exchanges happen, the floodgates open. Suddenly, millions of investors who previously couldn't access Zbeck will have the opportunity, and that demand spike will inevitably reflect in the price. That's why compliance and certifications matter, because they are the prerequisites for these listings. And then there's the potential partnership with the NBA and NHL. Sports partnerships are marketing gold. They reach audiences who might never have heard of Zbeck otherwise. Imagine watching an NBA game and seeing Zbeck's name on the sidelines or integrated into sponsorships. That's instant recognition from millions of viewers across North America and globally. For a brand that is still in its early stages, that kind of exposure is priceless. It transforms Zbeck from a niche crypto project into a household name. Looking ahead, let's talk predictions. In my personal opinion, and I'll repeat again that this is not financial advice, I believe Zbeck has the potential to hit 1 cent by the middle of fall. That might not sound like much, but when you calculate the percentage growth from today's levels, it's huge. And looking further into next year, under the right market conditions, I believe Zbeck could realistically hit $1. I know some might think that sounds overly ambitious, but remember, crypto is a market where coins can rise thousands of % in short time frames when momentum, utility, and hype align. We've seen it before with XRP, we've seen it with Dogecoin, and we've seen it with Shiba Inu. If meme coins can hit billions in valuation without real utility, why can't Zbeck, which has tangible partnerships, real-world use cases, and enterprise-level compliance, achieve similar growth? So, here's my conclusion. If you've been sitting on the sidelines thinking about buying Zbeck, this might be the opportunity you've been waiting for. Prices this low won't last forever. Once adoption scales, once the exchange listings come, once partnerships go live, this price will be history. That's the nature of crypto. It rewards those who are early and patient. But at the end of the day, you have to make your own decisions, and you must do your own research. That's going to wrap up today's update on ZBC. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates. Drop your thoughts in the comments as well. I want to know what you think. Do you believe Zbeck can realistically hit $1 in the next cycle? Or do you think it's still too early to tell? Let's start a conversation down below.